Alright, hello, welcome back to a new video. Today we are the 14th of February 2026. It's actually Valentine's Day. I got a new headset and there is a other microphone on it or connected to it. So I'm wondering how it's gonna sound. I think it should be a higher quality or more expensive equipment, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'll check it out when the recording is done if it sounds decent. And we're back with TimeGuessr. I'll do GeoGuessr sometime soon. I gotta find like a certain map or area that I want to get into and make some videos on. If anybody has any recommendation, feel free to let me know. And without further ado, we got TimeGuessr daily mode. Like I said, 14th February. And let's see what we got. Okay, round one. What's on here? Great Eastern Street towards Holborn. And on the back here, we got Hannah Davis, please be my Valentine. Okay, this is actually relevant to the dates today. But yeah, since it's custom made by people, I assume they did it on purpose. The things we do for love, priceless. Well, I'm gonna say we're in UK, England, and these buses give me London vibes. This says Holborn, never heard of it. Maybe it's like a city around London somewhere. Like you see Woking, Slough, Watford, St Albans, Lutton, Brentwood, Dartford. It wouldn't surprise me if it's something like that somewhere around London. Sadly, I do not know London well enough, or the UK in general, to really be able to find that or to be 100% sure about this. So I think I'm just gonna pick something near London and hope we get lucky. In my region in Europe, you sometimes have like the ending of a word, like a whole born, so like the born part. Then you have like a whole bunch of places together ending in a similar, like last couple of letters. I'm not sure if it works similarly in England. Like this is what I mean, like Warlingham, Caterham, Westerham. Yeah, it's the same thing. But I'm not quite seeing or born ending in names here. So this potentially could mean they're either way smaller and I gotta zoom in a lot more, or we are actually like in another city. I'm actually watching Peaky Blinders, and this is taking place in Birmingham, or at least parts of it of the story take place there. But I think I'm gonna go with London anyway. I'll take something, yeah, near Watford. Why not? Never quite heard of this place. And what year could this be? I'm actually not quite sure. Probably rather modern, if I had to guess. Let's see. Not seeing any smartphones, but that can be purely coincidental. Trying to see if there's any kind of clue we can get here. If I had to guess, I'd say it's like mid 2010s. This Mercedes, yeah, looks quite modern. It's not going to be really old footage at all. Mid 2010s, if I had to guess, like 2015. London 2015. Oh, it's a bit older, and it is London, but it's on the actually really central, like super central. A string quartet performing on a street in London during a Valentine's Day proposal. I'm not sure what proposal means in this context because I associate proposal with like marriage proposal, like asking to marry. Potentially, that's what it refers to. And a string quartet, I'm gonna assume that the string part refers to the fact that all four women are playing a string instrument. Never quite heard these terms, it's interesting. But I'm probably overthinking it. A proposal is probably off screen, somebody asking to marry, I don't know. And yeah, location wise, not that terrible. We were in London. I actually was kind of wrong by going on the outskirts. It was just really central. I'm gonna assume that the Holborn thing is like a district, or I'm not sure what you call it, like a neighborhood. Not sure what a good term is. I can't even quite see it on the map. Anyway, good score, 8.1k. It was 2009, a bit older than I assumed it to be. Maybe the lack of smartphones on the screen makes sense because back in that day, they were potentially a bit less common in public sight. Anyway, let's continue. All right, second round. This is going to be a bit more difficult. Wait, there's some text here. I think it's mirrored. Yeah, I cannot really read it. Sheaf Stout, keep your fifth. I think we're going to be in a capital. What's on the left here? GH Camp, Optician. Well, the thing is, you see this flag is the UK flag, the Union Jack, but then you have this flag. Is this like the New Zealand or Australia flag, or is it the other colony related to Britain from way back in the day? I'm not sure. It's like if it was blue, it would be the Oceania country, and depending on the amount of stars, it would either be Australia or New Zealand, right? Is there a way we can figure this out? I'm trying to read. I think I'm gonna have to make my guess based on the flag, and I'm not if you would show me in non-context both Australia and New Zealand, I don't think I would be able to tell which one is which. Because I think the only difference is the amount of stars and the placement of the stars. Potentially the color of the stars, although I'm not sure about that. I wish I could read this. Yeah, I'm not sure what it's saying. It's potentially mirrored, but even. What options do we got then? Well, it could be the capital, but the capital of Australia is really one that I'm not familiar with. It's like Canberra or whatever here. So then I would rather say it's Sydney or Melbourne. Or in New Zealand, I'm also not sure which is the capital. Christchurch, Wellington, or Auckland. I always think it's Auckland, but I'm not sure. It could be like Christchurch officially. Or Wellington, even, I'm not sure. Where could we be, though? It looks quite flat geographically, and I think New Zealand is rather hilly or like mountainous. Maybe it depends on what island you're on. I'm not sure. I'm a bit conflicted. Sheaf Stout. I wonder if any of the wording we can see holds a clue. The buildings potentially, but at the same time, I think I might go for Australia, honestly. I think there's a bigger chance it's going to be Australia. Let's just go with Sydney. I know I said capital and Sydney is not the capital, but let's go with Sydney anyway. King Street, sure. And the year, a bit difficult, right? Black and white picture, people. Like I've talked about this in the past when we're doing TimeGuessr. There's like this time period where people were dressed crazy nice on the streets. Like everybody's like suited up. Like in modern day, it's non-existing. Like this kind of view. It's crazy how the cultural clothing changed over the decade or century even. Yeah, I'm gonna say early 1900s. Not sure the year, honestly. The choice, sorry, of the date starts at 1900. Like I just said earlier, Rand, Peaky Blinders I'm watching, and it starts in like post World War One kinda into the 20s. Yeah, 1920s, Sydney, Australia. Why not? Let's make a guess. Okay, so it actually was Australia. Sadly, the year was not quite good, but it was Sydney. We were actually mega close, like we were one street off. That's really good. A scene on Sydney's Martin Place during the mid-30s, decorated with banners ahead of the Duke of Gloucester's visit. Never heard of Gloucester. I guess this is somebody from the monarchy of the Great Britain. And at least I'm happy. So I guess this flag we saw here was indeed the Australian flag. And yeah, location really good. The year, 14 years off. Honestly, like to me, this could be anywhere between 1900 and like early 40s. So I'm not really sure how you necessarily pinpoint a more direct, perfect location. Perhaps there's some kind of clue somewhere where you can like figure it out with. Anyway, really good round. I mean, kind of the year was a bit off, but location wise, I'm really happy. So let's continue and see what we got here. Well, I'm going to say we're in Africa, a country with a lot of bikes. I don't necessarily associate scooters with Africa. To me, seeing lots of scooter usage like this is rather something that I connect with Asia. Let's see. Center del Wende de Sacula. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Wait, is this French? École privée. That's like private school. So we're in a French-speaking African country then. But the issue is that I'm not really sure where the French-speaking Africa countries are. I think most of them are like located in this region of Africa. Can we find a clue somewhere? What's on there? Orange money. Yeah, my knowledge of Africa is really not all too good, honestly. Do the number plates hold a clue? Wait, is this BF? Maybe? Nah, it's not really. If it would be BF, I'd say Burkina Faso. And we do have Burkina Faso here. So in a certain way, that would, like, in my mind, French countries are in this region. I'm not sure if this is saying BF on the number plate, but it could be. And BF could be the initials of Burkina Faso, which is an African country. I'm not sure why it's not saying the name, but it's this one. Let's see. I'm not gonna think. I don't really think we're in the capital. Center del Wende de Sacula. Is this something we can find on the map? I doubt it. So I'm gonna say that Ouagadougou, I'm not sure how you pronounce this honestly, is the capital. Do they have train tracks here? I'm not sure if the train thing shows up on this. Yeah, I'm gonna say we're like in a surrounding city of the capital. There's a chance that I'm like completely wrong here. I think we're rather going north because like it looks rather a dry climate, like you see, very dry climate, and the Sahara Desert is like almost connecting to the north of the country. So let's say we are like north of the capital. Dori, Gorom. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for some city and just see what happens, to be honest. And the year, probably quite modern. Wait, she's on a phone? Looks like a modern smartphone quite. So we are at least already into the 2010s, if I had to guess. What should we pick into the 2010s? Let's see. Trying purely based on the phone, late 2010s even, then if I had to guess. Let's go 2017. Okay, let's see. Oh, it wasn't the capital. We got the correct country, though. That's cool. I guess the number plate did hold a big clue. People on motorbikes crossing the Abidjan Ouagadougou railway tracks, Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou. I want to hear a local person pronounce it. I don't know. I like how they have like this certain accent that is quite fun to listen to, actually. And I'm really not doing it justice trying to pronounce it. Yeah, it's not even a Q, it's a O. It's like Ouagadougou. Yeah, I think I must have heard of this place before because it's some kind of sounds familiar. And we actually were in the capital. My idea of going north to the Sahara potentially was not bad, but going for the capital apparently was going to be a safer bet here. Anyway, not a bad round at all. 1 year off, 2018, and location wise, 160k, which in the worldwide scheme of things is not bad at all. So, quite decent round. Okay, round 4. Looking at the letters here, I think this is Korean, although I'm not sure. It's Asian language, at least, if I had to guess. I think it's going to be South Korean. I'm actually not sure if North Korea and South Korea if they use like a separate language or if it's like the same language for both countries. Not quite sure about that. I guess South Korea has a lot more like worldwide influence. Maybe it also affects their language situation. Not quite sure. And I'm not quite similar as with Africa. My my Asian knowledge is not that good. But if I would have to guess, I'd say this is Korean. Like this is what I was talking about with the worldwide worldwide influence. They got taxi and English on here. Here is also something English on the wall. Outside of that, there's a chance we are in another country like Japan or Hong Kong or Taiwan. But honestly, like the way the spelling is here gives me South Korea vibes. So let's go to South Korea here. And I think this is called the Korean Peninsula. And South Korea is down here. Last year, I watched like a Dutch travel YouTuber, not really a travel YouTuber, just like a daily vlogger. And he went to South Korea for like a promotion of Squid Game 2, season 2, or movie or something. I'm not sure. And he traveled in South Korea for like 2 weeks or a week. And actually, really enjoyable. I really enjoyed watching it. It's a very interesting country. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Seoul, the capital. Not sure where. Just gonna pick some big street, honestly. Okay, and then the year. Judging by the cars, I'm gonna say it's post World War II, but I'm not really sure how far post World War II. It's still black and white, but black and white pictures don't really indicate the year always. Late 60s, early 70s, I think, if I had to guess. These cars, if you have a lot of car knowledge, probably hold as a clue. Yeah, I think I'm gonna with 70s, like 74. Seoul, South Korea, 74. Okay, the location really good. We actually almost got the perfect location. That's crazy. We almost got the perfect street, and the year was 2 years off. Not bad at all. Let's read the description. A street scene in Seoul, South Korea during the mid 70s. It's cool how you can work out a lot of like details and like clues, but I got lucky that I recognized the language because without that, I probably wouldn't have found it. And the year was a bit of a lucky guess, but yeah, really happy with this round. It's actually a fun game today. Things are going quite good. Okay, final one. Oh, I need to cough 1 second. Excuse me. Uh, Within this enclosure rests the remains of General George Washington. See, are there any famous people here? I guess this is the president of America at that time, maybe? Uh, I'm a little bit confused about any of this. There's something written here, but this is impossible to read for me. Okay, so let's stay calm and just read it again. So, within this enclosure rests the remain of General George Washington. He was like the founder of America, right? Or like first president, or I'm not exactly sure uh, what the history story there is because it's not quite taught in Europe. So, I don't really know it. But I'm going to say he is one of the founders of the United States, or maybe the first president, or something like that. And it's probably some kind of memorial event. The thing is, where would he be buried? The fact that the American politics and like the whole presidency type situation plays its role in Washington, I'm gonna say he's buried there. There's a chance that they bury them instead in their hometown or where they originate from, which I couldn't tell you because I have no clue where this would be. But like here you go, you got the Washington Monument, George Washington, city is called Washington. And that's, if you follow that train of thought, it's gonna make sense that we're gonna be in Washington, right? Yeah, okay, I know this monument. It's like this tower thingy. I've seen it in videos. Yeah, I'm not sure really where this would be, but I'm gonna say we are probably gonna be close to here. Like here are all the White House, like all the big buildings, famous buildings. So I'm just gonna click somewhere between them, I think, and hope we are gonna be in the region. Oh, this is the train station. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go here. Then see what happens. Um, okay, so we took the location, United States, Washington. Now the year, like this is not gonna be his burial, right? Because I think he died in like early 1800s. Maybe I'm honestly not sure. Maybe even earlier than that. So there's not gonna be pictures of that, but this could be like a memorial of 100-year death or whatever, or even 200. I'm not sure. This is going to be early 1900s again, if I had to guess. Trying to look at the military members and see if their clothing reveals anything. I think this guy potentially holds a big clue, and I possibly recognize him, but I wouldn't be able to tell you who he is. Yeah, the year. I'm trying to look at everybody. I'm gonna go with early 1900s, pre-World War I, even perhaps 1907. Yeah, I ain't got no clue, to be honest. So let's take a guess. Washington, this location, 1907, and let's see. Well, mixed round, but I guess not that terrible. A crowd gathered in front of the entrance to George Washington's tomb at Mount Vernon, Virginia. Wait, this is not actually in. This is not even in Washington. It's actually in Virginia. I guess the state line is really close here. That's interesting. Actually, I guess the river could be the state line, judging by this blue thingy here. I never heard of this place. The Fort Orientation Center, Mount Vernon. The Mount Vernon Mansion. I never heard of this. I think it could be a cool location with a lot of history stuff going on. Sadly, I was quite wrong with the year. Like 1923. I mean, not that terribly wrong, but I wonder if this occasion, like the gathering, is like some kind of memorial for a certain time passing, like 100 years, 200 years. I honestly don't know when Washington died. And let's look at the final score. 40k. We barely scraped by and got above 40k on the daily round. Let's check the breakdown. Honestly, all locations were really good. Like, I didn't really make any major mistakes. Like, country-wise, everything was correct. Year-wise, 2 rounds were a bit off. But yeah, that's it for today. I tried out a new microphone. This was actually quite fun. And yeah, I'll be back with GeoGuessr someday soon. And yeah, have a good weekend. Have a good Valentine's Day, and goodbye.